Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. In the last video, we talked about the difference between physical access and legal access. Whether you can get to your property physically, or do you have the legal right to cross your neighbor's land or to get to your own. Okay, so not having legal access to your property, you could be considered trespassing by crossing someone else's property to get to yours. This is not legal advice. But the discussion that we're having is, how does this impact the value of your property? Can you sell it? Do people want to purchase it? If here at TB Properties Buys Land, if you don't have legal access, for the most part, we're not going to purchase your property. Now, I was talking to a gentleman. They've got a couple pieces of property they're trying to sell here in the Texas area. Now, I'm going to tell you that everywhere in the country, each state is a little bit different. Counties are different, and that depends on the law. Here in Texas, it's really hard to get access, to get legal access if you don't already have that. There are ways you can do it. Have you been crossing somebody else's property for the last 10 years and they've never complained about it and it's just known? Okay, so we're not going to go down that path. Is it possible to buy an easement from the neighbor? Is it possible to negotiate with them? Sure. Going down that legal path, though, it's uncertain. It can be costly. It can take a lot of time, and it may never happen. And that's why not having an easement in place, not having legal access, can very quickly devalue your property just because of that uncertainty. Plus, you have to go and pay for a survey. You have to pay a surveyor to come out. They have to do the research depending when the last time the property was sold, if it was passed down through generations. There could be a lot of research that surveyor has to do. We think of surveyors going out there and posting at the corners and flagging it. There's a lot more work to surveying than just that. There's a tremendous amount of research they have to do to figure out exactly how the property was passed down, how it was divided, and exactly where, based on that paperwork, can they get out there and put those corners up and stake that property. So there's a lot. The longer and the more research they have to do, the more it's going to cost. And again, just because that survey is done, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to get legal access. So when it comes to it here in the state of Texas, selling your property and you don't have legal access, feel free to reach out to us. We're always willing to take a look at it. There are times that, when we look closer at the deed, we may see that you do have access to the property built into the deed, or maybe there's an old survey. But if your property is landlocked, that definitely changes the value of the property, and it could impact whether we buy that or not. So I hope that answers the question about legal access and physical access. If you have property 10 plus acres anywhere in the country, here at TB Properties Buys Land, we purchase through a title company for your safety. We pay in cash for a quick close. Expect about 3 to 5 weeks for closing, depending on the title company. But if you've got inherited land, or if this is property that you've bought and you're, just not using it, we're happy to take a look at it and get you a quote. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk to you then.